Hey foodies, thanks for watching. I want to show you how to make a tiramisu cake. This cake looks so delicious. I might actually end up eating the whole thing myself. And you want to start by beating up 5 egg whites to soft peaks. So I've got soft peaks. Now I want to add a 1/4 cup of white sugar slowly. So I'm going to turn the mixer back on. Just slowly add in the white sugar. So we want to beat this to stiff peaks. Let's take a look and see how stiff they are. That looks like a stiff peak to me. So let's take it off, and I'll get this all cleaned off. And I'm going to transfer this to another bowl. One last wipe around the outside edge of the bowl. There we go. So I'm going to set this aside. And I'm going to put this back in. I'm going to add my 5 egg yolks and 1 cup of white granulated sugar. And I'm going to whisk this up until I get ribbons, or until it's nice and thick and creamy looking. It's getting there. I want to just scrape down the walls just to make sure that all the egg yolk and the sugar are going to be combined. So you can see as the mixer is going, ribbons are trailing behind the beater, and that's telling me that we've got ribbons. So I'm going to turn it off. That looks beautiful. Just going to shake that off a little bit. Now I want to take 1.5 cups of Frankie's gluten-free all-purpose flour with 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder and 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt. And I want to mix that up. Now I want to add that to my egg yolk mixture. And I want to switch from a whisk attachment to a paddle attachment. Now I'm going to mix that up. So that's nicely mixed. I'm going to add in 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1/2 cup of milk, and 1/4 cup or 4 tablespoons of melted butter. And I'm going to mix this until it's well combined. I'm going to scrape down the walls. I'm seeing some spots that just aren't getting mixed. You want to make sure it's nicely mixed and combined. Nobody wants a lumpy cake. Okay, one more mix. And let's take it all apart. I'm going to scrape down my paddle. There we go. I'm going to scrape down the walls one more time. Just making sure that it's all nicely mixed. Now we want to combine our egg whites with our egg yolk mixture. So I'm going to take about 1/3 to 1/2 of the egg whites and just mix them in. You want to be careful when you mix the egg whites, because this is what's going to give your cake a little bit of rise. That's why I've done just under half, so that it's loosening up the egg yolk mixture. Okay, let's add the rest. So I've got 2 9-inch greased cake pans here. I've lined the bottom with parchment paper, and I'm going to divide the amount of cake batter in half and put half in one and half in the other. Okay, and then I just want to get this to go evenly out to the edges. And this is going to go into my preheated oven of 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 175 degrees Celsius for about 25 to 28 minutes. We'll see when they're done. So the cakes look beautiful. They baked for 25 minutes in my oven. Your oven might be a little bit different, so do keep an eye on them. I inserted a toothpick in the middle, and it came out clean. So I pulled them out, let them sit on for a couple minutes, then I pulled them out of their pan and let them cool on a cooling rack. Now they're just back here cooling. And while they're cooling, let's make the icing and the coffee mixture. So I'm going to start with the coffee mixture. I've got a half a cup of dark brewed coffee and a tablespoon of dark rum. I'm going to just give that a stir. There we go. And I've got a cup and a half of softened butter. And 226 grams of mascarpone cheese. My mascarpone cheese is homemade. If you're looking to learn how to make mascarpone cheese, let me know. I'd be happy to do an episode on that. It's really easy. And I've got my teaspoon of vanilla, my half a teaspoon of kosher salt, and my 4 tablespoons of heavy cream. So I'm going to mix this all up and just get it to blend and get light and fluffy. That looks really good. So I'm going to lower that down, and I'm going to add in my icing sugar. Come on. There we go. And I'm going to start this on low and just slowly bring it up. So I'm going to scrape down the walls once, just to make sure that everything's well combined. That is the icing. Now, if it's too thick for you, you can always add a little bit of whipping cream, tablespoon by tablespoon, but I think this is a good consistency. So I'm going to lower this down, clean off my paddle. I just want to stick my finger in this and try it. Okay. Oh, this looks like nice icing. I'm going to get rid of my mixer. And let's bring these over here. So I'll slide one off. I'll flip it over. I'm going to remove the parchment paper. It's stuck a little bit there. There we go. And you slice this in half. Beautiful looking cake. So let's slice the other one. Nice. And then I'll grab a plate. And we can start putting this together. So I put the first one down. And then what you do is you paint your coffee and rum mixture onto the cake. And then we take a little bit of icing. Maybe a bit more. Okay, and then I'm going to place this one face down. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to paint this. And a bit more icing. Okay. Place that one down. And repeat the process. And on to the last layer. Let's press that down. We'll put the last of the coffee and rum mixture on. So instead of spreading out the icing, we're going to fill a piping bag with the remaining icing. And I've got a large star tip. And we'll just fill the top with stars or flowerets. And let's finish everything off. Just a little dusting of cocoa. Because nothing goes better with coffee and cream than cocoa. What do you think? Is it good enough to eat? I think we should give it a try. Oh, it's cutting through like butter. I'm gonna get my plate ready. Oh, wow. That's beautiful. I'll let it fall on its side so I can look at all those layers. That's beautiful. Oh, the coffee to icing to rum ratio it smells really good. It smells perfect. And the bottom of the cake is nicely baked. Well, let's give it a try. That's the tiramisu cake. If you're looking for the recipe, you can visit glutenfreeguy.ca. You can also follow me on any of the social media websites. And coming up next is this. See you soon.